a longtime supporter and community mentor to Boston's youth. He sponsored numerous talent shows, basketball leagues, tournaments, various community events, summer camps, turkey blessings for the city of Boston. I think I met him back in WILD days when I was on the radio there. Mike's support and allegiance to Boston and its neighborhoods have become evident despite his humble beginnings. Michael L. Bivens, as a silent hero in the community, we want to thank you for your commitment and your ongoing support, monetary, material, or time, to the mission of No Books, No Ball, and to the Boston youth community. And we present you today with the Service Excellence Award.
Yes, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, please clap your hands one time. You know, it's so many people I have to thank in my life. You know, before I got to No Books, No Ball. And just to be here, I'm 49. I'll be 50 August 10th next year. And I'm going to try to do a gala just like this for my birthday, and all of you are welcome. All right? Just remember that. Somewhere downtown, we're going to get down on August 10th. But I would just like to say that, you know, to my mom, you know, Miss Shirley Bivens, that's, you know, that's my award. You know, we talk about everything. You know, my father wasn't in my crib. So the stuff I would say to a man, I had to say to a woman. And the stuff that a woman normally wouldn't say to a son, she had to give it to me, because that's the way I was giving it to her. And that tough love and those conversations instilled in me to never forget 02119. All right? And it's so interesting because I played ball in Orchard Park. I did some things I shouldn't have done. We stole those basketball hoops from Madison Park. And we went to the Boston Housing Authority, and we had an inside source, Evelyn Johnson. She slid us some cement. And we dug holes in Orchard Park, and we put wooden basketball hoops inside of the ground because they didn't provide courts for us. And I was the youngest kid, maybe 8, running with James Griffin, Leroy and them. And I was balling with the 15-year-olds. I was sitting on the bench, but I looked good in the layup line. It was good. But my job with the older guys was just to thread the net through the rim. So when we was walking from Madison with them green backboards, we knew we was doing wrong. But if you was an OP, we wanted to look good, so we needed those rims. And that right there was the beginning of my No Books, No Ball. Because ball was everything to me. To play ball in the projects with the girls with the Vaseline, that was it. That's what made you feel like a star. So whatever LaDon was doing in Cambridge, I was doing that in OP. Right? Wherever you at, Lenox Street, I see you. But as I went on, there was a guy hanging out in my projects. And I know I got 2 or 3 minutes, but if I'm last, I want to stretch it, because this is very important. Because we paid our money to eat, have a good time, and talk about this community. And there's some very important people. I just want to touch them, and I'm going to get off this mic. And he was hanging out in the corner of the project hoop, and he just bugged me out, because I didn't know why he kept hanging out, but He thought I had a nice dribble. He said my jump shot wasn't nice, but my dribble was nice. And then I asked him, who was he? He said, I'm Terry Walker, and I coach the Cooper Comets. And ever since that day, he's been like a father figure to me. He's been the man that helped raise me to instill to never forget where you come from. So once again, I heard that message from my mom to Terry Walker, and I love you, man. Everything you stand for. And there's another gentleman that's not here. And if y'all know y'all, he's up there with Miss Harris. She's coming up next on Sundays reffing. You know, that's what he likes to do, stay in these gyms and ref. His name is Charlie Chiz DeLoach. If y'all see him, always know he put his arms around me from the Roxbury Boys and Girls Club. And that became my second big brother. Those two have totally been the men in my life and raising me. So if you see Chiz, tell him I said what up and we acknowledged him tonight. And I love him. He's with his mom right now. And then sitting in the back of the room, I came in and, you know, she always got her hair whipped up. So I said, yo, you getting on the mic? I don't know nothing about it. I see Diane, she got her shades on. You know, one, it's like you see one, you see all three. And I just want to say for Shelburne, you know, Miss Harris, what you stood for, yes, please give it up for Miss Harris one more time. You know, I'll never forget. Yes, she deserves that, ladies and gentlemen. That's Alfreda Harris, y'all. I'll never forget, I was down at the BU and, you know, LaDon, the rest of the ball players here, Robbie Lewis, I see Robbie up at the food spot. I heard about you from Big Bro, so I know you was nice from JP. But the Boston Shootout was like the premier tournament for us as ball players. And me being a kid at the boys club, I was fortunate to be a ball boy. So I enjoyed giving the high school All-Americans towels and water. Cause, you know, I felt good to the kids my age. I had a responsibility. I had a job. And one day from playing in the Shelburne, what really connected us, and she said, baby, I got something for you. And I said, what you mean? She said, you didn't get to make it to the banquet that we had for the Barracudas at the Shelburne because for some reason at the time, they wouldn't let me attend the banquet. And my mom worked 2 jobs to buy me a navy blue jacket, a white shirt, and some brown pants. You know, I thought I was cool, but I sat in the boys club, and for the first time in ball, it broke my heart because I wasn't able to attend. But at the shootout, I went up in the stands, and she walked in with the Most Valuable Player award, and I just hugged her for like 5 minutes and cried in her arms. And Miss Harris, from that day, I ain't never let you go. And I just want to say thank you, because that meant everything to me that day. And now, I'm going to move on, and I just want to say, Bill, even though your speech was short, brother, your words are long. You know what I mean? We call you the politician of the crew. And what you stand for in bringing people together like Joe and all of the other people that you're touching, and helping us understand how to move this money through the neighborhood, man. We appreciate it. You know, when we have breakfast down at Mike's Diner, of course with Sean, with Mike, Robbie, and T-Rich and the crew, you know, bringing us together like that, brother, that's bigger than any check you're gonna recycle to us because we appreciate you and everything that you stand for. You're very deserving of your award. You hear me? And my brother Mike James, he's a part of Partners Financial. Another brother in our crew, working with a company, helping to cut a check. You here with your son that's off at school, following your footsteps, man. We need more people like you, man. You know, you guys are totally in the background. So a lot of things that you do, you don't take the pictures, very seldom you get acknowledged. But it's the real work, man, that means something to us. And the fact that you take the call when Tony calls, because bro, he needs the support. It just says a lot about our brotherhood. And I hope that we continue to stay together Sean, as long as you keep our legal papers straight, we're gonna be good brothers. All right? And I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, to Sean, our attorney, and to Mike James, please give it up for these two brothers as well. All right, so now that I took care of y'all, I know y'all gonna feel good. I got that. Now let me get to the man of the hour. Let me get to the man of the hour. You know, when we came up the steps, I was with my sister, and this lady said, "Oh no, that must be his mama." I said, "No, that's my mama, that's my sister." And I just want to say, T, I called you T first, he's T2. You said something, you said you was proud of me, but I'm proud of you, and I'm happy you took work off to come. I know how much your job means to you, but it's nothing I'd rather do for you to meet T2 again, T1, and to know that that's where that T came from, and it means everything to me. It also stands for the cross, that's across my heart. So I love you, big sis, always. Ladies and gentlemen, my big sister, Tanya. Come here, man. As Tanya and I was walking up the steps, we looked into the room, and we seen the ambiance. Anybody that cut a check, you should feel good about where your money went, okay? That line, everyone is dressed real beautiful tonight. It just shows the class and the flavor and the style of our city. Because I want to tell you, women, you look beautiful. Fellas, you look clean. And it's good when you can call something a gala, because it makes us all step up. We work hard throughout the week, but to come somewhere on a Sunday to enjoy ourselves, to see the fruits of your labor and what you're doing for these kids for 25 years, man, says a lot for the fabric of this community and what your mom and your family means to you, man. And we are more proud of you than what we're receiving tonight, because this 25 years couldn't have happened without your vision and your crew, all right? And I see my best friend over there, Pretty Tony, and his man C's. Can't leave home without you, boy. Always holding me down. We ran a lot, got in trouble a lot, but I'm getting this award. Don't tell my secrets, okay? I have a goal and I have a dream. And I'm sorry I don't stand here today as a singer and an entertainer, but I stand here today as a product of Orchard Park. Alright? And when I go to Atlanta, and I go to LA, Detroit, and Chicago, and Uptown Harlem and Queens, I just admire how they do things that I wish we could do more of in Boston. I go to the basketball court, and I see how they get down under the lights, people running on the court, oh, oh. And it's just looking like it's a community. And that's what I'm trying to do now at Derby Park. If any of you ever attended the Bib 10 tournament, you could see it's women and men of all ages out there. People that might never go to a street ball game. But it's a community, 3,000, 4,000 people having a good time. And with Marty, I saw him walk out, but it's the truth. When we woke up the next day, there was no Herald, there was no Globe. And we said, but the night before, brother got shot across the street. And his brother came up to me and said, yo, Biv, they knocked my brother off, man. Yo, Biv, they knocked my brother off. And it's the first cat I saw walking in the park. And I said, man, we gotta fix this. And I didn't know what to say, so I just slapped him hard and hugged him and said, man, my prayers to you and your family. He said, Biv, I love you, and walked away. And the reason I'm bringing it up is we cannot hate on each other. We gotta support each other. If there's another gala, tell somebody to come on up here and get this seat, get this ticket. This is what it's really all about. And we might not get the news, but that's their problem. That's not our problem. Because anything we've ever done, our crew, We've never called the news, we never called the radio. We just did it out the kindness of our heart and because we cared. And the no books and no ball is because it was built on a foundation of saving the youth. And some of these kids done went on to the NBA and probably made Tony and the coaches and their staff very proud. And that's what it's all about, building the bridge to make sure these kids got something to walk over. And then anytime you see me in these streets, if it look like I'm moving fast, I'm gonna slow down. Because my mama always told me, you take time, you speak to people, look them in the eye, and you acknowledge them because they don't have to acknowledge you. And I just wanna say thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for this award. And please, for me, if you haven't stood up yet, can you just stand up one time? Stand up one time in this room. If you love Boston the way I do, let me hear you say yeah. Yeah. If you love the city the way I do, let me hear you say yeah. Yeah. Will we stick together? Yes. Will we move together? Yes. No books, no ball is the real deal. Right or wrong, let me hear you say hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Just wanted to, just real quickly, and just let everyone know that 25 years ago, my son, stand up right quick, Stefan, I think I got both my nephews, Stefan and Ann. When I didn't have the money to finance that train, and I went to T-Walk had the love of basketball, and the Y really wasn't supporting us. That was just a place that we played ball in. And I needed the finances to run that train and make the kids buy in and believe in us. And T-Walk made the call to Mike. We got on the phone and Mike said, I got you. Kids need uniforms, I got you. Kids need finances to move, I got you. Kids need bags to carry their belongings in. So when we walk in the gym, it's just kids from the projects, like Mike said, we look polished. We looked good, the kids felt good, and we played good, and we got that W.
This time from the state Senate. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Anthony Tony Richards in recognition of your commitment and dedication for over 25 years mentoring young people to pursue academic excellence through establishing the No Books, No Ball basketball program. Be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. It is signed by Senate President Stanley Rosenberg and our own State Senator Linda Dorsina Forey.